Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. Pretty much the go-home show for Sacrifice this Saturday. It's kind of crazy. They do have a show this Saturday. Not exactly a pay-per-view, but I will give them one thing. They really have been building up into this Impact Plus show, which they've never really done, I believe, because I've heard about the Impact Plus shows they've had on their app and everything, but I've never really even tried or really go by to check it out. I will check this thing out Saturday since they have promoted it for a minute now. I'm like, okay, they've been trying to promote Sacrifice, because Sacrifice was a known-name pay-per-view at first, but I believe sometimes they just had Sacrifice as part of TV then, but now it's, I wouldn't say a pay-per-view, it's on Impact Plus. Basically, if you don't know what Impact Plus is, it's basically like any other wrestling streaming site that's online right now, from the WWE Network to New Japan World to Honor Club or any other wrestling network that's out there. The other thing that's kind of strange about Impact Plus to me is that, like I said, it's mostly a library like any other wrestling library that, have a lot of matches on there. I don't know why they don't go live with pay-per-views, and, you still got to watch a pay-per-view through a different way, but technically, this was the quote-unquote go-home show before Sacrifice this Saturday. I know they got an actual pay-per-view coming up in, the next month or two, but at least they are trying to make some of these Impact Plus shows kind of canon, because I've seen them promoted before on Impact, but I've never really gone out to actually go watch them. It's not bad matches they have for the card, but then again, they're probably in some other promotion that a lot of people don't know. I don't know what building or wherever they're, doing the show at, but I never know who's really they have on there. It's like they just have these matches to be having them on there, but they've actually had some build up to this, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll check it out then, since they've actually kind of took a little bit time to build into Sacrifices Saturday. But also they were in Las Vegas finally on this taping. They're done with the Mexico one, so different crowd this time. Now, I did see some photos from last week of where they were filming in Vegas, and full house, a very full house. If you do not believe me, go look up the photos online. I have seen the photos. It was Sam's Town, I believe, in Vegas, and it was a full crowd out there, which, it's not like, I don't know if it really was a full crowd in Las Vegas. I think it was like halfway there, but this time this was actually a full pack of people, okay? And I saw a lot of people online saying, like, wow, Ring of Honor's not even selling out Vegas that well nowadays. Somehow Impact is now outselling them, even for tapings or whatnot. It's a full crowd out there, so good on them for their part. I do notice a couple things different since the last time they were in Vegas. I guess since, Access TV is, I guess is funding something where they are putting money into this. The stage actually looked more different this time, and actually, looked like it was actually a credible stage out there instead of they had before when they were in Vegas. Some people thought it may have looked a little bit too low budget. I'm like, okay, looks like they invested some money into this. So obviously Access TV is putting some money, they are putting money behind this and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, this crowd is engaged and whatnot, so this could probably turn out well. Okay, because we do kick off the show with TJP versus Josh Alexander. Of course, I believe that TJP and Fallah Bahh have a tag match. Ethan Page was out there with Alexander also. I think they were talking about, I saw this recently about, what was it, Alpha One Wrestling. I think that's Ethan Page's promotion. I think they're part of Impact now or something. So I think their tape library is on the Impact Plus app, so I think they want people to go check out, I guess, matches from there. Like I said, Ethan Page runs the thing, but this was a very, very good match between TJP and Josh Alexander to kick off the show. Very good back and forth. Some people would say more of a high flyer versus submission power game level in this match, but this was very enjoyable, I will say that. Pretty much coming into the end of this, because I did like when Alexander did like a kind of had him in a sleeper hole and then spun him around, so like choking him, spinning him before he dropped him on the ground and everything. That looked good, even hitting on some big suplexes that looked kind of deadly half the time. But TJP had tried to go for the knee bar then after that, but Alexander pretty much got back at him. TJP hit some kicks then. But he was able to dodge a spinning shove from the detonation kick. He pulled the turnbuckle pad down, Alexander, but next thing you know, TJP tried to get him into a pinfall, but Alexander pretty much countered him into a sleeper hold, but pretty much TJP was able to counter it again into another pin, I guess roll-up pin or whatnot, to beat Josh Alexander right there. So this does good. I guess they're going to get a title shot for the tag team champions. I'm assuming it's going to be followed by followed by Ethan Page was last week. So it was TJP and Josh Alexander this week. And, since TJP and Ba have beaten both of them, I don't know when the tag match is. Maybe it's next week. I don't know if it's this Saturday on that Sacrifice show. But it is this week, though, on Impact. So... well, not this week, but I guess next week on Impact, I'm assuming. Whenever his tag title shot is. So, I'm sure it's coming real soon. But this was a really good match between TJP and Josh Alexander. I do recommend watching this match. They pretty much played... what else did they have? Pretty much show about Jordan Grace's title win from last week. As Madison Rayne was out there pretty much congratulating Jordan Grace becoming the new Knockouts champion, pretty much faking it and whatnot. But she talked about all her own title reigns and whatnot and how she's been multiple time Knockouts champion. But she's going to continue her legacy now by doing an open challenge. The Golden Opportunity Challenge, but I do believe I think I missed something before this whole Madison Rayne thing. One thing I almost forgot to mention, I guess Johnny Swinger versus the Mac right there, since they had a backstage thing about doing reps and whatnot. Mac says, we're going to do something during the ring. I thought it was going to be a tag match, but it ended up being Johnny Swinger versus the Mac. The Mac is from Las Vegas. No, he's not. Well, he lives in Las Vegas. I know he's from LA, but I think he was living in Las Vegas last time I heard. Fans were big for the Mac out there, I will say that. It wasn't much of a match. Of course, Swinger, I guess, tried to do a couple punches, and then he did some diving head into his nuts for some reason, but he tried to go for his finisher and whatnot. But, Mac ended up pretty much taking him down, got him with some more drop, a moonsault, and, then the Stone Cold Stunner, and then the splash for the win. Okay, so, another win for the Mac. I'm still trying to see where this is going. Even they asked when's Rich Swann coming back on there, whoever Mac was talking to. But we don't really know what it is. So we're still doing this somewhat, not a team, but some type of comedy bit right now between the Mac and Swinger. I don't know if this is the last of it, but hopefully they got something else for the Mac than have him, joke around with Johnny Swinger every week. It's not bad all the way, but I do want to see what the Mac else is going to do while Rich Swann is not here. But as I was going to go back to the whole Madison Rayne Golden Opportunity Challenge, remember to brought out this girl from Vegas named Maserati. It wasn't really much of a match. It's pretty much Madison Rayne versus Jobber. Yeah, it was okay. It was honestly whatever. Madison Rayne got the win with the cross reign. So there you go. They went to the new Knockouts champion then with Jordan Grace. Talking about her title win, saying she dreamed for this for a long time. It's one of the most important moments of career. And now she's going to be a fighting champion. She's not going to run. And she knows she has to face Havoc this Saturday. She knows Havoc is undefeated. I did not know that myself. And she says she's not going to run from an undefeated woman or any woman. So she was going to bring prestige back to this title. But as she left, Johnny Swinger came in playing this video package of Taya's highlights as she was Knockouts champion. And I guess when they were done with the video, Taya was yelling at Johnny Bravo. Well, there's a lot of Johnnies in this company. Johnny Bravo right there, and yelled at him as he came out saying she loved the video. Taya came out and she says, "I'm going to get that title." They play an Impact flashback against all odds. The Pope and Mr. Anderson. Funny, both of them in NWA right now. They then went to Katie Forbes as she was looking at her phone. RVD came up saying what's wrong and everything. She didn't like about a lot of people talking about her on Twitter. But RVD says, listen, man, this is social media. There's a lot of low-level humans on there that probably are living in the underground somewhere. They're just jealous and everything. And as they made fun of the people on the internet, Dogger was standing around the corner, I guess. He said, "Hey, Dogger, remember I beat you at Hard to Kill?" Dogger was pissed and wanted a rematch. And he says, "All right, man, dude, we'll do this next week." He spoke in Spanish a little. Well, he tried to speak in Spanish. And RVD walked off then. So I guess it'll be a match next week. They then interviewed Tommy Dreamer, Tessa, and Trey Miguel in the back, as they were talking about their opponents in the 6-man tag or 6-person tag against Ace Austin and Reno Scum. Tommy pretty much went on about their match last week as he talked about his own career, that he is wrestled for nearly 30 years, I believe. Has Tommy Dreamer really been around that long? And he has wrestled in 5 decades, I believe. How long has this guy been wrestling? I really want to know. I'm like, how long has Tommy Dreamer been around? Please inform me about that. Because I'm like, what, 4 to 5 decades? I'm like, how long has Tommy Dreamer been wrestling? But he talked about Rey Mysterio and comparing him to Trey Miguel, and talked about ECW changing the business and everything, and talked about Ace Austin's done all this horrible stuff, like tried to bang Trey's mom as he looks disgusted. And Tessa pretty much says, she feels good about tonight and Saturday because that Ace Austin, gonna choose the better man or the woman if that's gonna be the thing. We then went next to the best of 5 series, which was very commercial free, between Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards. We are on match 3 at this point. Michael Elgin leads 2, as he had a promo earlier tonight talking about Eddie Edwards, saying that he's just falling and he's going to take him down, as Eddie Edwards still has 0 right now. Eddie pretty much went for him on some punches and did a suicide dive on Michael Elgin in the beginning of this match, taking him down, going for a tiger driver. Still couldn't get him from there, but Elgin came back with a big German suplex inside out, knocking him down. Pretty much hit him with several elbows and an apron Death Valley driver that looked very deadly, by the way, on Eddie Edwards. I'll say that. Elgin tried to go for the powerbomb, as Eddie pretty much still was trying to break out of it several times. They pretty much had some punches back and forth then. Eddie was able to somewhat get back up again, but Elgin kept taking him down. He got him back outside the ring again. Eddie went for another dive, but Elgin took him down with a big forearm, leaving him on the ground. He was going to Elgin bomb on him on the stage, but Eddie hit a Hurricane Rana and then went for a Boston Knee Party to take him down then. Before they both got in before the count of 10. Eddie was on the top rope and whatnot, but Elgin pretty much got him down, hit a Falcon Arrow, get him with a buckle bomb right after that, but Eddie tried to get him with a cradle pin. Elgin went for the crossface again, like he had him submit the first time, but Eddie was able to get out of it, do a Boston Knee Party on him. He set him up for another Boston Knee Party to take down Elgin, but Elgin took him down with an STO then after that. They pretty much got to the top rope. Elgin was going to go for the Burning Hammer. Eddie had jumped off the top rope, but pretty much landed on his feet, knocking Elgin into Guri, setting him up on the top rope then. He was going to hit him with a Hurricane Rana up there and whatnot, but Elgin hit him with a big power bomb, quickly got up, was going to go for an Elgin bomb right after that, but Eddie was able to once again counter, got him into a cradle for the win, so Eddie Edwards finally gets 1 win out of the best of 5 series. I knew Eddie was probably going to get a win anyway, since Elgin was leading 2. I was actually going to be surprised if Eddie walked away if Elgin walked away with all 3 points, but obviously they want to kind of keep stretching this out, probably till the next pay-per-view possibly. I still see that happening at Rebellion or something, but overall not a good match. I know some people believe they are running out of ideas with both of these two, since we've seen these two face each other several times, but both men can put on really good matches, so I'm not really doubting them, but this was a little bit more different, I will say that. So it was a good match and whatnot. Crowd really seemed to be into it also. But I guess Eddie was going to get 1 win sooner or later over Elgin, so that was going to happen. Moose came out on commentary next as Rhino went against Dave Chris. Not really much of a match, but Rhino ended up getting the gore on Chris. Why is Dave Chris jobbing the Rhino? I don't understand why the Chris brothers are well, I wouldn't even say both, but why is just even one of the Chris brothers dodge? I know they got Madman Fulton beating up people with the Chris brothers OVE. We have not seen Sami Callihan, which I'll get a little to him later, but I don't know why Dave Chris is, jobbing to him. And I know Rhino's got to fight Moose this Saturday, which honestly, they did this match hard to kill, so I don't know why they're doing this match again with these two. But, of course, Moose was talking about him on commentary, and Rhino got the win. So hopefully that feud is over after this Saturday. Then Havoc is walking backstage as Susie shows up again, and then writing that says, "Your time has come." Yes, this undead thing still continues. They sent James Mitchell back to the hell or the undead realm. I don't know where it's going anymore. I just don't know what the undead realm or this Susie. I don't know sometimes. I don't know, but I just kind of wish the story end now. I think it's gone its course at this point. They also announced the signing of Chris Bay. I don't know a lot about Chris Bay. I will say that. Now, I have seen him on Impact before, but I think he was mostly jobbing to someone here, too, or there. But I have heard his name a little bit more. I have looked up a couple of his matches. The guy's good. He is really that good, though. You know, it's funny. I heard him mention earlier today also, I think Cody was doing some, phone call conference, and I remember him asking a question. He brought up Chris Bay's name, and I've heard they say they may have been talks with him, but I guess now he just signed a contract with Impact Wrestling. But hey, could sign both. I don't know. Like I said, AEW's probably doing some multi-thing, anything, contract thing right now. I don't know. They got Jeff Cobb on this, so I don't know if he's still on the contract with Ring of Honor. You know, you still got Jericho and Mox working in New Japan. I don't know how contracts work over there all the way. Maybe you could do a double one, but I have heard of Chris Bay, though. Like I said before, what they call him, the finesser, I believe, or whatnot. But that is a good addition to have to the roster. He is really good. Like I said, I mostly seen him on Impact during the Vegas tapings in the past, but obviously they do believe in this guy, so that's a good signing for Impact. I will say that. I have heard about Chris Bay a little bit here and there, and I think he's really good, so watch out for him. Next, though, they were interviewing that Gabby girl in the back. I forgot her last name, but the ICU message showed up. I believe that is Sami Callihan. Don't know when he's coming, but we'll see what happens from that. But in the main event, we got Tessa Blanchard, Tommy Dreamer, and Trey Miguel versus Ace Austin and Reno Scum in the main event. Not bad of a main event. I will say that. Of course, just like I said, 6-person tag or whatnot and everything, but if I remember all the way correctly, I know they got that, bionic elbow thing they were doing for commercial and whatnot. It got a little bit better, especially with Trey in the ring going after Ace Austin before they cut him down. Getting Tessa in the ring, fans did chant, "We want Tessa," and people chanting Reno Scum. Tessa pretty much knocking all the heels down, even stumbling, almost picking up a Thornstone there or whatnot, but pretty much Trey got himself back in as her, and Trey did multiple kicks on Ace Austin right there. Tessa got a sleeper on him, but pretty much, excuse me, pretty much got a sleeper on him and everything. But Reno Scum pretty much came back in, and Tommy Dreamer was out there then. He pretty much hit a cutter on one of Reno Scum, getting one to the outside of the ring, clotheslining him down. Tessa was on the outside then, pretty much hit a suicide dive on Thornstone out there, which she was about to go for a hammerlock DDT to the outside, but Ace Austin came with a big kick. Miguel hit a big kick then, pretty much did a giant dive or outside the ring that looked cool. Fans start chanting, "This is awesome." Then after that, he pretty much yelled and he picked up Ace Austin saying, "You son of a bitch." But as he threw him in the ring, Ace Austin kicked the ropes, pretty much hitting him in the nuts, and then hitting the fold on Trey to get the win. So another win for Ace Austin, as this does promote the match for Ace Austin versus Tessa Blanchard this Saturday at Sacrifice. I don't think it is for the titles. I don't think any titles on the line, so it is just going to be a match itself. So that should be good. Hopefully, but I will say the match was not bad. At least again, more of a serious Trey Miguel out there or whatnot. It's better than super high Trey Miguel sitting in the smoke circle. I know the Rascals, they kept promoting the night that the Rascals were on Twitter watching the show, so I guess they wanted fans to interact with them since they were taking over the Impact Twitter handle throughout the entire night, though. But it is cool to see Trey. They're trying to make him someone into a singles star. He's still part of the group, but they're trying to make him into a singles guy, I guess, in a way. I know he's mostly going against Ace Austin most of the time, but at least he's more. It's better than sending him in the smoke circle, just acting super high. I think we got enough high people in wrestling right now. Trust me. There's one I already make fun of all the time. He has to do with a lot of fish. He sings a song about fish, but we're not going to get into that. That's a different show right now. Overall, actually, decent, solid episode of Impact. I think it was a little bit better this time because I think the crowd knew what was more going on in the Vegas tapings than they were in the Mexico tapings and whatnot. So it was a good atmosphere, very good atmosphere. Saw some good matches. Elgin and Eddie, of course, with the best of 5 series. I thought TJP and Alexander was a really good match too. Even the main event itself was just kind of regular. It was okay, I will say that, but it does build up into a lot of stuff for Saturday. I don't know why Dave Chris is jobbing, though, for some reason. That does not make a lot of sense to me. Whatnot, but we'll see where this goes. I don't understand Madison Rain's Golden Challenge. I guess we'll see what that goes to. But at least in Vegas, it is a little bit more different and more full crowd out there too. I will say that. But overall, a decent episode. Like I say, pretty good episode of Impact this week in this new set of tapings. So we'll see what happens since they are in Vegas right now. But other than that, I am done with this review. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about the show in general. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Like I said, check out any other review or any Impact review that is online right now. So other than that, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.